Hi, darlings. I'm your host, Fawal Samani, and you're listening to Couple Perspective. This podcast is where I give unprofessional advice and share my honest perspective on all aspects of life. As you may or may not know, I love journaling. Journaling is one of those self-care rituals that I just find so much inner fulfillment, and I gain so much clarity from it. And it's where I can just vent out on paper. It's something that is very personal to me. I don't do it every day. I try to, but when I do it, I just get sucked into it, and it's where I find so much mental peace and mental clarity. Living in a world filled with so much chaos, distractions, and so much noise, journaling is one of those things where everything is silent, where it's just me and my thoughts, me and my pen and paper. It's where, amidst the loud noise and disruptions, I'm just fully there, I'm fully immersed. It's where I learn about myself, where I self-reflect. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about self-reflection, specifically talking about my own self-reflection, where I answered self-reflection questions in my journal. And if you want to self-reflect with me, grab a journal, pen and paper, your laptop, phone, whatever you prefer, and answer these questions as I deliver my answers to each and every question. A quick disclaimer, if my voice sounds weird, it's because I'm wearing retainers and I'm literally just about to get to bed. I literally, like 30 minutes ago, I was drinking chamomile tea and just answering these shadow work questions. And then after I finished answering all of the questions, I then got up and brushed my teeth and did my skincare. Now I'm in bed. So after this episode, I will be. She's gonna be asleep. So yeah, I just figured why not record this episode whilst I just finished that whole self-reflection, because I don't know, it's just I just feel like it's the right moment to do it, if that makes sense. Okay, now back to the episode. So basically these self-reflection journal prompts came up where all of these questions came up, where it was like journal prompts, who I am, which is the first section, and then the second section is journal prompts, who I am becoming. So these are questions relating to the two sections. So get your pen and paper out and ready, your phone, your laptop, your journal, and write down these questions, pause whenever you need to, answer them, and then get back. So it's like a self-reflection session, like we're self-reflecting together. So make your tea, make your coffee, snuggle in bed if you're about to go to sleep as well. And this can be our little fun self-care, shadow work session. I don't know what to call it, but come self-reflect with me. The first question is, what are my core values? I answered 11 core values. I was going to do 10, but when I structured this in paper in my journal, I don't know how to describe it, but on one side I wrote the 6, and then the other side I wrote the other 5. But the thing is, like, I don't know if anyone does this as well, but I don't like it when things aren't neat, or like, say like I'm writing like a list of 10 things and it's on the same piece of paper, but I'm not doing it in a line. I'm doing it where it's next to each other, if that makes sense, where it's like a column, basically. So on the left side, I wrote the six answers, and then on the right side, I wrote the other answers. But when I wrote the four answers, so like when it got up to 10, it was like, wait, there's still a line, like there's still an empty space left because it's six, not five. So it was like, you know what? Why not just write 11? I'm overcomplicating this. I don't really need to explain this, but I just want to see if anyone else does this. Like, instead of like writing 10 answers, I have to just, you know what? Why? I'm just going to add one more. Like, people, like, whenever they do, whenever people do like gratitude, it's like, write three things you're grateful for. I'm like, wait, I can't. It almost feels like a crime to not write three, but then I'm like, why can't I just write more? The more the better, you know? So I end up writing like 5, 6, 7. So yeah, these are my 11 core values. Obviously, they're not all of them, but these are my core values. You might not have noticed already, but you probably have. But I'm one who loves to just, you know, I just love to keep my mouth running. I just love to, I'm a girl who just loves to blab on and loves to waffle. So yeah, if you see me just explaining and talking a lot, just know that this is me. I just do it, you know. So you'll be getting a glimpse of this later on. So, like I said, I wrote 11 answers. What are my core values? 1. Respect. 2. Honesty. 3. Authenticity. 4. Boundaries. 5. Empathy. 6. Communication. 6. Oh, 7. Hold on, did I write 6? Did I write 11 or 12? Okay, 7. Emotional intelligence. 8. Effort. 9. Reciprocation. 9. No, 10. Genuine connection. 11. Fulfillment. 12. Peace. So I did end up writing 12. Yeah, I wrote 6 2 times. It was like 6 communication, 6 emotional intelligence. So as I'm reading this, it's like 6, but then I'm changing it into 7 because I wrote 6 2 times. Second question. How do they influence my decisions? My answer was a lack of them, or if I'm not receiving them from others. That influences my decision to not want to continue with those people. How do I define success for myself right now? My answer was by ticking off to-do lists, getting through the day, doing for my highest self, and what I love, working towards goals, enjoying the process whilst having good character. How do I show up for myself? My answer was by implementing self-care rituals and meeting my goals, respecting and loving myself and looking good, taking care of my body, setting boundaries, and making me my top priority. What habits and routines define my current lifestyle? My answer was being present, watching too much media, distracting myself on my phone or films, eating healthy-ish, not waking up early, not doing what I want to do for my best self. And then I did an arrow underneath that, needs improvement. So I need to improve my habits and routines to create a better lifestyle for myself. But answer this in the way the question asks you to answer. Like, what habits and routines are you doing right now? You know, what are they shaping your current lifestyle? How do I hold myself back? My answer was by not waking up and sleeping early, getting distracted by phone, laptop, TV, consuming too much, and not committing to my goals. What a piece of advice would I give my past self? My answer was that I shouldn't prove myself to people that don't see my worth, and that I can't please people's satisfactions or expectations. What's something I've overcome that made me stronger? My answer was when doors closed on me, and that whole phase of depression and lack of hope and feeling hopeless when I didn't trust in the process and let it overtake me. Then, after months of that hardship, finally gaining trust and clarity and full contentment. What parts of myself do I love the most? My answer was my uniqueness, my honesty, my heart, my humour, my understanding, my attentiveness, my sensitivity, my character, and my way of words. What are 3 words that describe me right now and why? 1. Patience. I would say that since the past few months, I have gained a lot of patience, and I think patience comes with having a lot of hardships in life and accepting your situations as they are for this moment and trusting in the process and not trying to control something that is out of your reach and out of your limit. Definitely, patience comes with learning how to control yourself, learning how to be okay with yourself, being okay with your emotions, negative or otherwise, being okay with whatever is happening and just letting go. Because when you have that sense of control over the things that you can control, which are things that are within your reach, how you react, your character, the way you respond, things like that, things that you actually can control, and not worrying about things that you cannot control, such as the future, how people treat you, um, situations, outcomes. You can't control that. You can only control what is within yourself right now, what is in the now. You can't control what happened in the past, and you can't control what is going to happen in the future. That isn't, it's already written, it's already going to happen, but you don't need to figure it out right now. You don't need to stress about it right now. So it's like, right now, I've gained, I feel like, a lot of patience. And I think right now in my life is the most where I feel patient. I feel most patient right now in my life, and I feel like definitely I've dealt with a lot and had to overcome a lot of things which were very difficult and had me months dealing with them. But on the other side, I think it's made me a more patient person, because it's like it's not something that I can control anyway, these things that I was worrying about. It's not like I could do anything about it. The only thing that I need to focus on is the things that I can do. And the things that I can't do, the things that I can't control, that are out of my limit, out of my control. Because I'm only a human. that is not something that I need to worry about. I only need to worry about the things that I can control, the things that I can't control, people, situations, outcomes, the future, the past, all of these things. There's no point in worrying about them because it's all planned. I just need to trust the process. I just need to rely on who is in power, which is God. So yeah, that's definitely something that has helped me, and there are bigger things in life, that I need to worry about. Not necessarily worry about, but put my focus on, and I shouldn't put my focus on things that I can't control or I cannot change, 2. Perspective. I've definitely gained loads of different perspectives. I feel like each day I'm learning more and more about myself and being a better person and changing the way I think and I've always been a person who thinks deeply and shares deep thoughts. I love to have deep conversations with people. It's something that I love doing. It's something that I just, like, I can't not have it, I don't think I'll be able to live without having deep thoughts and deep, communications, deep conversations with people, and sharing them. So, I feel like as life goes by, the more perspective I gain. My podcast is literally named Cuppa Perspective, you know? So, I feel like as life goes by, I'm gaining new things, gaining new outlooks to life, new, like, how I respond to life, learning about new things, learning how to control myself, learning how to deal with situations better, being a better person, responding differently, responding in a better way. I've definitely gained a lot of perspective right now. So it's just something that I'm very mindful about. And 3, detached. I would say I've never been more detached from things, people, situations, things that I can't control, things that are out of my limit. I think because for so long I was attached to this certain lifestyle, this outcome, because I wanted it so badly. But when I was attached, it was when I was at my most depressive state, where I was at my peak sadness, grief, sorrow, sorrowness, hopelessness. I just felt so bad because I was attaching myself to a certain lifestyle, a certain situation that didn't happen in my life yet. And hasn't happened yet, but I've completely detached from that because it's not like it's not like it's something that I can control, I've completely detached from situations and certain circumstances in my life and doors that have closed on me and opportunities, I've completely detached from that because I feel like when you detach from situations, people, things that don't really belong to you, like this life does not belong to us. We don't, we're not, this world that we're living in, none of it belongs to us. It's not something that is eternal. The afterlife is something that is eternal. So it's like, I just feel so detached. It's like, I don't want anything. It's not like I'm looking for things, looking for answers, I don't know, looking for people, looking for situations. I'm not looking for any of it. It's not like I'm searching for something. It's not like I'm searching for happiness. I'm not attaching myself to a certain emotion or a certain situation or a certain feeling. When you detach, it's like I finally feel free. I finally feel alive. I finally feel at peace and fulfilled and satisfied and content. Whereas before, when I was attached to this certain lifestyle that I didn't have but I wanted to have so badly, this country that I wanted to live in, and obviously if you were to ask me, do you want to live in this country, I would say yes, 100%, but it's like more so now I'm detached from it and I'm actually living in the present, whereas before I was completely attached to this feeling, completely attached to this lifestyle, this circumstance, this situation, um, to the point where I wasn't actually living. I felt so numb. I was like, every day was the same because I was constantly craving that, uh, that situation to happen. And I was constantly running and desperate for it. But I've realized that the more desperate you become, the more it gets away from you, the more it runs away, the less you attract it, the more it actually detaches from you and becomes less attracted to you. The more desperate you become, the more attached you become. However, when you completely detach and when you're not desperate anymore, when you're not living for it, when it doesn't contain your entire life and you're actually living in the present moment, that's when it can actually come to you. That's when blessings can come. That's when opportunities can come. That's when it finally happens because you're in full surrender mode. I feel like now I'm fully surrendered. Like I'm in full surrendered mode. Like I'm not attached to anything now. I'm just living in the present, doing what I need to do, thinking in the way that I need to think and, uh, not focusing on external circumstances, external feelings, things that are out of my reach. I've fully detached from that, people, situations, circumstances, and I finally feel alive. I finally feel at peace. I finally feel like there's light in my life, there's hope in my life, there's blessings in my life. I finally feel like miracles are going to happen. Blessings are coming my way. I finally feel like that because I've completely surrendered. I've completely trusted in the fact that it's all going to work out and everything is planned, you know? So yeah. Now we've moved on to the second section, journal prompts, who I'm becoming. The first section was who I am. Second section is who I'm becoming. Okay, the first question says, who is the woman or man, if you're listening to this, we don't discriminate here, we're not, misogynistic. This can apply to women and man, but since I am a woman, since I am a female, I'm going to say woman. Okay, who is the woman I aspire to be tomorrow? A month? A year? 5 years from now? My answer was, tomorrow I aspire to be more well-rounded in terms of routine, what I want to put my focus on and fill my time with, and actioning habits to become the better version of myself. In a month, I hope to be a woman with a new, improved life, backed by actions, a woman who is happy with her life and enjoying every day, and seeing actionable changes. In a year, I hope to be a new, fully transformed person with new habits and a fulfilling life, education, environment, and community. In 5 years, so I am going to be turning 18 this month. God. I genuinely cannot believe it. This is like I'm gonna go through an existential crisis when I turn 18. I already went through that existential crisis when I was 17. I'm still 17, but when I turned 17, because it was like, how should I be acting right now? I don't know. Like, where am I in terms of age, in terms of character, in terms of how I should be? That's what my mindset was. It's like, I feel like 16 is like it's like, it's like a young woman, you know? You're fun, it's like fun and like youthful. I feel like 17 is like, because it's in between 18 and 16, it's like, am I an adult? I feel I'm more independent, but then again I feel young, but then again I feel quite old, but then again I feel responsible, but then again I feel like, I'm nearly going to be in my 20s. It's like this month. Wow, when I'm 18, that's 2 years away from 20. That's crazy. Where'd all the time go? Starting to fly. Literally though. In 5 years, so when I'm 23, I aspire to be a woman with patience, work-related aspirations and goals for future career. I aspire to have great character and a woman who has gained success and podcast account success growing, my podcast channel, my YouTube account getting popular, and living somewhere where I'm safe and content and happy in. What does becoming her mean to me? My answer was, it means that I'm working towards my goals and who I want to be for myself and how I want to show up as. Becoming her would mean I respect myself and I'm living life actively showing up, putting in dedication and action to being her, actually backing my words and growing that level of self-trust. How will I know I'm her? My answer was, when I take action and embody the mindset of her, and physically seeing change and progress, improvement in habits and mind and how I think. How do I want my future self to feel about myself today? My answer was, proud. Because I'm self-reflecting and doing what I need to do to become that future self. I would want her to see how far I came and all the milestones, hardships, memories, progress I've overcome, and appreciate that I'm finally here, and that one day, where it didn't happen yet, I still showed up and had faith and feel so glad for becoming my best self. How can I align my daily actions with the person I want to become? My answer was, with purpose, and reassuring myself why I want to be this person and the reason. Changing my mindset and thinking like my best future self, and doing habits that bring me closer to my vision goals, also promoting results. What habits does my best self have that I can start practicing now? My answer was, waking up at 7 to 8 a.m. every day, doing Pilates and walking every day, having a stable morning and night routine, educating myself, gaining knowledge every day, sleeping 8 hours every day, learning new languages and becoming fluent in them, learning new hobbies, and cooking and eating for my gut health. What mindset shifts do I need to make to grow into my best self? My answer was, thinking like her, Instead of saying, I want to have this, say, I already have this, or I already am this. How does she look, present herself? Who does she surround herself with? Shifting limiting beliefs and doubts. And lastly, what are 3 words that describe my future self? 1. Disciplined. 2. Radiating. 3. Healthy. Okay, we have reached the end of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. I greatly appreciate it. I hope after listening to this episode, you have gained clarity and hopefully answered these questions yourself, because I definitely have gained clarity about who I want to become and the person I want to be for my future self, and starting to actually change my life and being the person that promotes my highest and bestest self. So I'll definitely be listening to this episode after editing it to reaffirm myself, my self-reflection and the shadow work questions that I've answered, and who I am versus who I'm becoming. And you can make a video. You don't need to be a podcaster like me. Make a video or write this down in a journal. But I feel like when you listen to this every day, it reaffirms to yourself your goals and your values, and it leads you in the direction that you need to walk on to be the person that you want to be. So I'll definitely be listening to this every day to remind myself whenever I fall back, or just to remember who I want to be, and allowing myself to be honest and listen. So yeah, I highly advise you to make a video and just listen to it every day. You can make it and make it as your alarm. I don't know, make it to it like whenever you're doing a habit or exercising, listen to this, or just listen to it throughout the day. Whenever you wake up, the first thing you do, listen to this. Before you go to sleep, listen to this to reaffirm yourself, your beliefs. And I feel like that's what will help you fully actually achieve your goals. So yeah, comments will be open to anyone who wants to use it, and I would love to hear your ideas for my new upcoming episode. I just love talking with you guys. I just love that I don't need to put on this act. I can just be honest, share my thoughts, and just be authentically myself. And if you like this episode, rating it on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you're listening to this on, will motivate me even more to bring you content that you like. I love and appreciate you all. Stay tuned for my new episode. Bye!